as a lot of folks know, the mission of FCA is to present to athletes and coaches and all whom they influence about the saving message of Jesus. And that's the category I fall into. Is I wasn't the athlete. You know, you and I went to high school together, so I wasn't on the varsity basketball team. I wasn't a football player, but I was very involved, you know, in school and went to everything, was very active. And all my friends were the athletes in the school. And it was because of them, realizing that it was not just about the athlete, but it was all whom they influence and the influence that they had on my life, to have the wherewithal to invite me to an FCA meeting. You know, October of 1989, I'd been attending FCA for about a year, and in the library of Johnson High School, the most, you know, non-saving environments of all environments, you know, and as we know now, you know, the power of Christ is far more superior than a location. But for me to accept Christ there in the library with my friends and support around me has made all the difference in the world. And, you know, we talk a lot of times about a lot of high school students feel like they get tied up in this radically saved or radically changed, and I'm one of those people that look at my life and go, well, there's not a whole lot of radical things happen. I didn't come from here and do a 180 and go to there, but it's what my life would have become had I not given my life to Christ, and had it not been for FCA. You know,
came to Jessup, Georgia, Wayne County High School. He's tried to start the FCA program. We did a couple car washes and this type of thing to try to raise money to go to Black Mountain. And unfortunately, we weren't able to. And I found out it was Lois and Ted Thornton, just a family couple, Christian couple that went to school, went to high school, went to church with C.B. Cornett, donated the money for us to go to FCA camp. So somebody basically sponsored me to be able to go. And you get up there, you kind of divide it up into squadrons. And it just so happens that one of the guys in my squad ended up being from South Georgia and from a neighboring county where my grandmother lived. And we got to know each other there and fellowship there, and, you know, had a true mountaintop experience with the Lord and competing, and truly a great event. Came home, fast forward 6 years later. I'm Rush Chairman for Sigma Chi Fraternity at Georgia Southern University. This guy comes through Rush, and he says, we've met before. I said, really, where was that? He said, FCA camp, Black Mountain, North Carolina. Well, he ended up pledging Sigma Chi, and we became very good friends. His name's Charlton Rogers. He's my best friend. My wife jokingly calls him my second wife, because he's been there through thick and thin. Our relationship is more than just friendship. We're brothers. We're brothers. Just everything happens for a reason. People say that, but it really is God has a purpose in everything that happens. He had a purpose in Lois and Ted Thornton sponsoring someone to go to Black Mountain, North Carolina. He had a purpose with me taking me away out of my comfort zone where I knew nobody, to befriend somebody who ended up being a lifelong friend, who's had a positive impact in my life. It made me grow closer.
So, yeah, as time progressed, we had these great events at Johnson. I mean, I don't know, a lot of folks here may remember that we would meet like on Thursday evenings or something, and we'd have skits, and we'd have singing, and we'd have Bible study, and they were very well attended, and they were all going real well. And I guess it was sort of the cool thing to do. And it was the fall of probably my sophomore year in high school. There was this trip to Black Mountain, North Carolina, and I don't remember a lot of the details, but what I do remember is being with a lot of great people, some really good friends, and there was an altar call one night that just changed my life. I mean, we were doing crazy stuff that you do at camp, and then all of a sudden, it's like the craziness ended and the responsibility began. And there was just something special. If I hear the name Black Mountain, North Carolina, or Fellowship of Christian Athletes, it always piques my interest, and I listen a little bit deeply because of the fact that those are the two things that have changed my life most profoundly. So I wish I could tell you the in-depth what the message was about and who was with me, but I remember that, you know, in Black Mountain, North Carolina is where Christ called me to Himself, and thankfully I answered, and I'm blessed today because of it. I just want to encourage everybody to take this ministry for what it is. And what it is, it's the most profound, most prolific evangelistic ministry in our area. When you know that kids are being fed the gospel day in and day out, lives are being changed in our school halls and in cafeterias, at camps that we send our kids to, and under Jason and Clint's leadership, listening to the Lord to give them direction, we need to make a decision now that's going to impact my kids and our kids for years to come.